Good morning, students. Hope you all are fine. Let us talk about the play The Red-Headed League by Arthur Conan Doyle. Scene 1. Sherlock Holmes' house. You could not have come at a better time, my dear Watson. This gentleman, Mr. Wilson, has been my helper and partner in most of my most successful cases, and I have no doubt that he will be of the utmost use to me in yours also. The stout client pulls out a dirty and wrinkled newspaper from the inside pocket of his overcoat. Dr. Watson thinks he looks an average commonplace British tradesman's obese, pompous and slow. There is nothing remarkable about him, save his blazing red hat and an expression of extreme discontent on his face. Mr. Wilson has at some time done manual labor, has been in China, and he has done a considerable amount of writing lately. How did you know all this, Mr. Holmes? Your hands, my dear sir. Your right hand is quite a size larger than your left. You have worked with it and the muscles are more developed. Well, but China? The fish which you have tattooed immediately above your wrist could only have been done in China. In addition, I see a Chinese coin hanging from your watch chain, so the matter becomes even more simple. Will you show the advertisement now? Here it is. Hands over the paper to Watson. Watson reads, to the red-headed lake, on account of the bequest of late Ezekiel Hopkins of Lebanon, PAUSC, there is now another vacancy open which entitles a member of the League to a salary of £4 a week for purely nominal services. All red-headed men who are sound in body and in mind and above the age of 21 years are eligible. Apply in person on Monday at 11 o'clock to Duncan Russ at the offices of the League, 7 Pops Court, Fleet Street. Doctor, please make a note of the paper and the date. It is the Morning Chronicle of April 27, 1890. Just 2 months ago. I have a small pawnbroker's business at 6 Coburg Square near the city. His name is Vincent Spaulding, and he is smart enough to earn twice as much as I can pay him. The only fault he has is snapping away with a camera when he ought to be improving his mind and then diving down into the cellar like a rabbit into its hole to develop the pictures. He was the one who showed me the advertisement and convinced me that I had a good chance of getting the position. And did you take his advice? I did. When I saw how many people were waiting, I would have given it up in despair. But Spaulding would not hear of it. When we came up to the little man who was interviewing the candidates lined up for the job, my assistant said, this is Mr. James Wilson, and he is willing to fill a vacancy in the league. And he is admirably suited for it, the other answered. He has every requirement. I cannot recall when I have seen anything so fine. He offered me the job and made sure that my red hair was original and not a wig. The hours suited me as they were from 10 to 2. The pay was £4 a week, and the only condition was I had to be in the office, or at least in the building, the whole time. What was the name of the man who hired you? And what was the work? The name of the man was Rankin Ross, and the work was to copy out the Encyclopedia Britannica. I had to bring my own ink, pen, and blotting paper, but the table and chair were provided. I had to start work the next day. So, did you start work from the next day? I did, though I was assailed by misgivings at first, but to my surprise and delight, everything was as right as possible. The table was set out ready for me, and Mr. Duncan Russ was there to see that I got fairly to work. He started me off upon the letter A, and then he left me. But he would drop in from time to time to see that all was right with me. At 2 o'clock, he bade me good-bye, complimented me upon the amount I had written, and locked the door of the office after me. For a week at end, I received 4 gold sovereigns. For how long did you work at this place? 8 weeks passed away like this, and I had written about abbots and archery, and armor and architecture and Attica, and hoped with diligence that I might go on the BS before very long, and then suddenly the whole business came to an end. To an end? Yes, sir. And no later than this morning, I went to my work as usual at 10 o'clock, but the door was shut and locked, with a little square of cardboard hammered onto the middle of the panel with the tack, here it is, and you can read for yourself. Red-Headed League is dissolved October 9, 1890. And what did you do then? I went to the landlord who lived on the ground floor, but he said he had never heard of the Red-Headed League. I came to know that Duncan Ross was actually William Morris. He was a solicitor and had been using his room as a temporary convenience until his new premises were ready. My assistant asked me to wait until I should hear by post, but I decided to come right away to you. Your case is an exceedingly remarkable one, and I shall be happy to look into it. And first, one or two questions. The assistant of yours who first called your attention to the advertisement, how long had he been with you? About a month. How did he come? In answer to an advertisement. Why did you pick him? Because he was handy and would come cheap. What is he like, this Vincent Spaulding? Small, stout, very quick in his ways, no hair on his face, though he is not sort of 30, has a wet splash of acid upon his forehead. Have you ever observed that his ears are pierced for earrings? Yes, sir. He told me that a gypsy had done it for him when he was a lad. He's still with you? Oh, yes, sir. I have only just left him. That will do, Wilson. Today is Saturday, and I hope that by Monday we may come to a conclusion. Wilson leaves. Holmes sits quietly pondering upon his case, then jumps up and with Watson goes to 6 Coburg Square, where Wilson's pawn shop is located. Scene 2. A street in London. Holmes knocks on the door of the pawn shop, which is opened by a bright looking, clean shaven young fellow. Can you tell me how you would go from here to the Strand? Third right, fourth left. Smart fellow. He's in my judgment the fourth smartest man in London. Evidently, Mr. Wilson's assistant counts for a good deal in the mystery of the Red-Headed League. I observed the knees of his trousers and saw what I expected to see. This is a time for observation. Let us explore the parts which lie behind Six Coburg Square. Holmes and Watson go around the place, and Holmes makes a note of all the houses in the area. A considerable crime is in contemplation, Doctor, and I need your help tonight. There may be some danger, so kindly put your army revolver in your pocket. Scene 3. Sherlock Holmes' house. Watson arrives at Holmes' house in Baker Street at quarter to 10. Holmes in and finds an animated conversation with Peter James, the official police agent, and a long, thin, sad-faced gentleman whom Holmes introduces as Mr. Merriweather. Then I wish to lay my bracelets on is Johann Clay, the murderer, thief, smasher, and forger. His grandfather was a royal duke, and he himself has been to Eton and Oxford. I have been on his track for years and have never set eyes on him yet. I hope I may have the pleasure of introducing you tonight. I have had one or two little turns along with Mr. Johann Clay, and I agree with you that he is at the head of his profession. It is past 10, however, and quite time that we started. If you two will take the first hansom, Watson and I will follow in the second. Holmes and his companions reach the same crowded place where they had been in the morning. Mr. Merriweather takes them to a huge vault or cellar which is piled with boxes and crates. Please be quiet, for we do not want to alert the criminals, and we are at present in the cellar of the City branch and one of the principal London banks. Mr. Merriweather, the chairman of directors, the criminals are after our French gold, and we have been warned that an attempt might be made on it. We have not yet unpacked the money, and it is still lying in our cellar. They wait for an hour and a quarter, and then finally one of the stones in the wall is removed, and Holmes and his companions see a clean cut boyish face and his companion with a pale face and red hair. It is no use, Johann Clay, or should I say Vincent Spaulding. You have no chance of escape. Oh, indeed, you seem to have done the thing very completely. I must compliment you. And your red headed idea was very new and effective. You may not be aware that I have royal blood in my veins. Have the goodness also, when you address me, always Say, sir, and please. John Clay is taken away by the police. Really, Mr. Holmes? I do not know how the bank can thank you or repay you. There is no doubt that you have detected and defeated in the most complete manner and one of the most determined attempts at the bank robbery that you have ever come within my experience. Holmes and Watson leave. You know, Watson, it was perfectly obvious from the first that the only possible object of this rather fantastic business of the advertisement of the League and the copying of the encyclopedia must be to get this not our bright pawnbroker out of the way for a number of hours every day. When I looked at John Clay's trousers, which were frayed at the knees, I knew he had been borrowing a tunnel from the shop to reach the wallet, and when Wilson's assignment came to an abrupt end, I deduced the work had been completed and the time for action had come. Well, it was an interesting case and kept me out of the boredom,